This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. Flush to his right. This one complete, right side to McDonald. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
What we got?
On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Joe Schobert in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
On third down, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Watch the pass.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Roethlisberger. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger will hand a counter. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 16 yards, a 1st down. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, Everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. This is counter, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd and a couple, Roethlisberger.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Roethlisberger now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger getting this one into the hands of Smith-Schuster. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Samuels. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jalen Samuels, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. He's going to loft one deep left side. That's caught at the 25. A big play that time for Cleveland. 51 yards. Nothing conservative about that play call. You said earlier in the quarter you wanted to see them open things up, maybe take some shots downfield. There you go.
Yeah, and that one was successful. But even if they're not successful, when you take those shots downfield, they've got to back off a little bit, loosen up a little bit on defense, and give you a little bit more room if you want to run the football.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
180. Check. Done. Give me that ball. Done.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. His throw incomplete. The tight end, David Njoku, the intended receiver. Third down here.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. First down run for Conner, not going to get much, maybe a yard. 2nd down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's go.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Roethlisberger. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 27-yard line. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
50.
Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. That is incomplete.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will swell the lead to 16. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Hey, Charlie.
Now it's Roethlisberger. That escapes the sack. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, a run with Connor. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 more there and another 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing, Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talked about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out.
Odell Beckham Jr. past the 20 and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Olivier Vernon. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now Ben going to give this one to counter. Now that gets back some of what they needed, but they're still stuck here with a 3rd and 13. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Mayfield. He's got Njoku over the middle. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To throw, Mayfield. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your pro? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball? not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win.
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Flushed out right, and he whips that one incomplete there. James Conner, the running back, his intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They run with Conner. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Looking to throw again on second down. Roethlisberger, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 35. Roethlisberger now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Conner. And not much running room. Down to the 32. A gain of 3, second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah,
nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
53, check 53. I got Watkins.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And he will find his man on the outside. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On second down, it's Conner, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and minicamps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
On second down now, it's Conner. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he's got it. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Washington with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Let's go.
heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now he dumps this off over the middle. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
55. Coming.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Mayfield on first down. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Mayfield leaves it for Hunt on the draw. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Yeah, that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Like 20. Two times.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass.